I'm returning to RS3 after a 6-month break. I've always been a very average PVMer, but I want to become a great one. This is a new series following my journey to the top. The benchmark for my progress will be the PvME Mastery in Feat challenges. To start off, I'll be attempting the Arch-Glacor Initiate Mastery Challenge, where I'll need to get either back-to-back sub 3-minute 30-second kills at 500% enrage, or one sub 4-minute at 1500% enrage. I'm picking the Arch-Glacor because I'm poor and a frozen core drop could open up a lot of doors for me money-wise. Also, it's the only boss that I think I can reach the Mastery Challenge for without upgrading too much of my gear. To start off, I'm going to upgrade the Pontifex Ring to the passive version for the 10% Reflection Prayer buff. Here's my current kills, streak, and enrage for the Arch-Glacor. I have several hundred kills, but I've never really attempted to push for enrage or kill streaks. My collection log is looking decent, basically a frozen core and a book and some nillas away from completing, so maybe I'll get that done by the end of the episode even. I only have decent melee gear, though not all best in slot yet, but hopefully that's going to change soon. Here's the loadout. This is pretty much everything I have at the moment. I'm positive that to reach the mastery requirement, I'll have to make some gear upgrades this video, but mostly I'll need to fix my rotations. I can't afford to switch to range or magic right now, so I need to do this melee only. I haven't done the Arch-Glacor or really any amount of PVM since shortly after its release, so the first kill was completely botched. I was on the brink of death for the first half of the fight and only at 60% enrage, and it took me about 3 minutes, only 30 seconds short of the requirement for my eventual 500% enrage kills. Even worse this time, I died on a 0% enrage kill after fumbling with my keyboard for the entire fight. Attempt number 3, and this is where I finally started to catch my bearings. I completed a kill in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, although I did take some damage. Next, I finished out my Berserker aura with several half-decent kills averaging in the 2-minute range. Finally, I finished off day 1 with a few kills on Inspiration aura. These two were slower kills, averaging slightly under 3 minutes each. I want to take a data-focused approach to this and get a really good feel for my progress over time. This graph shows my kill time on the vertical and enrage on the horizontal. The big red line is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's the cutoff for the Initiate Challenge. I'll need to keep my time under this red line to beat the challenge. My kill times aren't great right now, especially considering that at 500% enrage the Arch-Glacor will have double the health that it does now. I'll somehow need to nearly double my DPS as well as deal with more difficult mechanics to complete the Mastery Challenge. This is another take on how far I'll need to push. This shows my damage per minute on the vertical and enrage on the horizontal. The big red line is how high my DPM will need to be at each enrage level to clear the kill in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. To achieve this mastery roll, my DPM will need to be at or above the red line. Right now, both views show me averaging 3 minutes and 30 second kills at slightly over 200% enrage. After not having PVM'd in so long, I'm actually pretty happy with day 1 and I'm excited to continue the streak tomorrow. Starting off day 2 now. I'm not recording my times at the moment, I'm just focusing on my Zerk rotation and my new keybinds. I'm going to climb the streak and pull in some cash as well. I attempted to do some kills off of Zerk aura. I don't really know what the best alternative is for melee, so I've been using Inspiration, and the results have been pretty awful. So many of my kills have been between 4 and 5 minutes, even in the 300% enrage range. I'm glad that I saved all of my points until this point with Warp because I'll be using a lot of aura refreshes from this point on. After a second extended Zerk aura, I have finally been able to push to 352 enrage on a 31 kill streak, and the loot is starting to look pretty good. I don't have a ton of cash, and this could really help me get some gear upgrades. Damn, I missed a prayer flick. There goes my streak. And at least I still get to keep 3/4 of the loot because the streak was high enough. I attempted to do some 400% plus enrage kills, but I got a little too ahead of myself here and I rushed a little too hard and I died a few times. It's time to upgrade some gear. Here's my loot from my streak, my old Masterwork helmet from before I got the Jaws of Abyss, my Trigor mace, and my golden party hats. I'm a little sad to see the party hats go because they've dropped so hard over the past couple of months, but the upgrades will be well worth it. Maybe I can even buy them back by the end of the video if I have some good luck at the Arch-Glacor. That leaves me with a little over 800 mil to make some upgrades. First up is the Abyssal Scourge. I'm not buying an offhand T92 right now, but the passive on this should definitely make up for the difference. Now it's time to test out the Abyssal Scourge. This should help push my kill times down pretty considerably. I'm definitely doing some damage with this thing, but I do have a couple of complaints. I'm losing all of my Abyssal stacks pretty often from the exposed core and the minions, and I'm losing my stacks if I switch to a two-hand weapon for more than a couple of abilities. Even so, I think the Scourge is making a noticeable difference on my kill times. I've gathered some data for my day with the Abyssal Scourge, so let's compare it with day 1. Here's my kill time over Enrage again. There's a very clear decrease in my average time to kill at each Enrage level. At this rate, I'm still not close to my 3 minute 30 second target at 500% Enrage, but it looks like I've gained about 50% Enrage for a kill with 3 minutes and 30 seconds on average. And here's my DPM. Again, a big improvement over day 1. There's one caveat to this though, which is most likely an effect of not having enough data. My DPM on day 2 fell a lot faster as I climbed Enrage. After spending half of the day questing, I've finally caught up to Extinction, and that means when I finish Sins of the Father, I'll be able to unlock the passive Ring of Vigour effect. Now I'll have the Ring of Vigour as a permanent passive, and that's one less thing that I have to juggle during the fight. I've been using the Wind Book, which is a constant increase in damage. If I can push my DPM, the Jazz Book will be a higher increase in damage overall. I could buy a Grimoire to get the absolute best DPS, but I can't justify the upkeep cost here at this level of Enrage. The Full Book is really not a good option either. Although it gives higher DPS than the Jazz Book, I don't think I can survive the 10% increased damage that it causes. Here's something that I should have done a long time ago. The Limitless Sigil. At almost 400 mil, this hurts a little, but with it, I should be able to do my Zerk rotation twice as often. After doing several kills with the new whip, Limitless, the Jazz Book, and the passive Ring of Vigour, I'm seeing a substantial decrease in kill times at lower Enrages. This is a graph again of my kill times compared to Enrage for every kill that I've done so far in the video. The blue line was my initial kills without any gear upgrades. The yellow line is with the Abyssal Scourge and Dragon Battle-like specking. The cyan line is everything from the yellow line and the Jazz Book and Limitless. There's a very clear improvement between my initial kills and now. I can't afford any more worthwhile upgrades, so I'll need to start focusing on my mechanics and rotations. There are a few things that really slow my kills down. 1. I take forever to clear the frozen core phase. Instead of focusing on breaking the arms, I'm usually trying to build adrenaline, so I can adjust here. 2. I usually forget to use spiritual prayer potions, so I can get a pretty big DPS increase by spamming those throughout the fight. And 3. I'm really slow to kill the minions, so adding a scythe in with aftershock to my loadout will increase my AoE damage substantially. It's now day 6, and I'm planning to spend a few hours honing in my best possible rotations and how I handle each mechanic. I'm switching back to the Wind Book now. Even though the Jazz Book has a potentially higher possible damage output, the Wind Book could give me an edge because of how good it is in AoE damage against the minions, my worst mechanic. The next day I play, I want to beat the Mastery Challenge. I've practiced for about 3 hours today and I'm pretty confident about beating this challenge. Here's a look at my day 6 data. Based on the average from the small sample size, I should be looking at around 3 minutes and 30 seconds for about a 400% Enrage kill. And while that's still a little bit off of my goal, look below the day 6 line. I got really good times for a few kills, including 2 minutes and 24 seconds for a 376% Enrage kill. I don't need to consistently get below 330 at 500%. I only need to do it a couple of times in a row here. 2 back-to-back kills with Zerk rotations that don't get cut off from minions or beams, and I should have this in the bag. It's day 8 and I'm gonna try for the challenge soon. To start off, I'm doing some warm-up kills. I've done about 2 hours of kills, mostly in the upper 300% range, and it's time to sell some loot. This is some of my loot from Arch-Glacor and a few care about kills as well, but still about 60 mils from the Arch-Glacor alone. Also, the Ling artifact is worth about 30 mil, so that brings the total here to about 90 mil for this lot. Nothing exact here, this isn't a loot video, but with the 30 mil or so from the first bit of loot I sold earlier in the video, that brings the total to about 120 mil for all the kills so far. I've done slightly under 200 kills with this video, I think around 175, so that's about 700k per kill, not taking into account streak or enrage. So practice is over now, it's time to get into some 500% enrage kills. First 500% enrage kill done at 3 minutes 52 seconds. Not great, but I got pretty unlucky with minions and book procs that kill. Kill 2, 3 minutes 42 seconds. Still room to go, but I'm feeling pretty good about this. Not great, over 4 minutes that time. Death number 1. Ouch, 2.6 mil to save. I really need to start using the Ring of Death, but the DPS from the Reaver's Ring is just too good right now. Same thing, another 2.7 mil down the drain. Didn't die this time, but I'm starting to wonder if I can reach a high enough DPS for this. Attempt number 7. Another 2.7 mil down, and I'll be broke pretty soon if I keep doing this. Hey, attempt number 8. Finally a time under 3:30. 3 minutes, 22 seconds. If I can get the next one, I'm done. No luck, caught by the beams. Hell yeah, 3:09. I'm cutting it pretty close here. 100k to go, 30 seconds left on the clock, and no berserk. Nice, good hits, good hits. $3.15, that's it. Mastery challenge complete. Not just scraping by either, that's 21 seconds left on the first kill and 15 on the second. I think that was about 15 attempts in total, not too bad. In hindsight, I probably could have done this challenge quite a bit earlier. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, and it didn't really take that many attempts. Submitting my Arch-Glacor initiate video, and I'll be back once it's accepted. It's a couple of days later, and there is the role. Arch-Glacor initiate achieved. Not too sure what to do next. I'd need either range or magic gear to do most of the mastery challenges, and the next Arch-Glacor is under 4 minutes at 1500% in rage, so I definitely have some work to do there. Would you like to see me go more in depth in my progress and kills in episode 2? If you have any suggestions for the next challenge, tips for me, or anything else you'd like to see me do differently in the next episode, please let me know in the comments. This wasn't a crazy hard challenge, but it was a great way for me to get reintroduced to PVM after being gone for a few months, and I'm definitely setting my sights on something much harder next time. That's it for this video. If you'd like to see more content from me, episode 4 of my Zeah only Ultimate Iron Man series will be out in a few days. I'll have episode 2 of this series out eventually. A link to my full kills will be in the description for anyone who wants to see it, though I definitely wouldn't use it as a reference. The ability tracker and actions per minute counter that you saw on the beginning clips of the video is available in the description. Keep in mind, it's a work in progress, but eventually I'm gonna finish it. If you'd like to see me stream some of my progress, please comment down in the description and let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.